Hi guys! So I'm back with another video, and today we're going to look at logo design from the bottom up. So here I am, I'm doodling for a recent project I had with a client, and this is actually not the first step. It's one of the early steps, but it's not the first step. The first step, guys, is to have a conversation with your client. So I had a long chat with the client, just trying to figure out what they were aiming for, where their head was at, what's their goals, what are their ideas. And this is right after doing that, I wrote notes, which I had done before the doodling. And now I'm actually doodling some of these ideas down, trying to develop them that little bit further. So this is like a super, super important part of design. I remember even when, before I went to study graphic design, I did think it was really about, software and the computers and digital. And that part is all important. But if you don't lay down your groundwork and you don't figure out your plan of action and develop your ideas properly, old-fashioned pencil paper style, you're going to struggle. So here we are. I'm looking at my thumb because one of the ideas I started developing was having a kind of V shape, because the word Vermont is going to be in this logo, showing between a thumb, like thumbs up. And again, I stress this is all from after talking to the client. I got some of these ideas because they really did explain what kind of thing they were actually looking for. And there's no harm if you don't understand exactly what it is. How can you translate that to the audience? You can't. So spend that time talking to your client, ask questions, as many as you need to, and flesh it out. So I've just got heart, tick, thumbs up. I've got a question mark after that because I'm wondering if it will work. What do I want to put in? Will it fit with the work thing? I think so. Thumbs up, I thought. Working right. And I mean, this is going to be a predominantly text-based logo. So if I do have imagery, it's more going to be like a symbol that might be extracted from it, might show differently, but ultimately it's not going to be the whole thing. So I'm already thinking about how it's going to work with the text. So I'm developing it a little further, trying to see if I could realistically get the V shape. But this is probably going to be like a 2-part, maybe 3-part video. And I really, really just want you guys to see that this stage in the thinking of design is really important to getting a good outcome. Not just for you, but for your client also. So we're going to look at the build up to this, and we're going to look at our result at the moment. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're in Photoshop. I've got the photograph of my thumbs up, and I just took a picture of my hand. And what I'm doing now is I've got the eraser tool, and I am trying to create a buffer. I'm trying to create a buffer between the foreground image, my hand, and all the stuff in the background. This is something I would do all of the time. I'm doing it because there is not much distinction between some of the colors in the background and the foreground. That's because lighting, it's because of the colors around me, it's because of how close they are. There's not really enough separating them. So if I was to just get the magic eraser tool right now and take away chunks from the background, it might take out chunks from my hand as well, which I am trying to avoid. So you guys may have seen this in some of my other videos, and I haven't gone into so much intricate detail on Photoshop tools yet, but I have said that they all have their purposes. So now I've got my magic eraser tool. I could get out big chunks of it. I'm going to get the lasso tool to get out these things that were left behind. And really, the more things you have that you're trying to get rid of, the more you may find you may need to do a few things to skin the cat, you know? You might need to use a lasso if the magic eraser had too many things too close together and didn't delete it all. And you might need to protect your main image, which I did at the beginning. So now we're almost done here. And I'm gonna look at it and get rid of some of these pesky little parts of the background that are still there. Back with the normal eraser tool. See, the lasso wouldn't be as good as that for control. Neither would the magic eraser, because I might accidentally delete a finger. So now we're in Illustrator. And I'm just doing something quick here, changing the canvas size. I just went to that icon right above the little spectacle-like shape, the little magnifying glass shape, and that's where your canvas size is. We're gonna go into editing the photo now because I just want to try different effects on it. I don't want this to look like a photo. For one, this is likely not going to be in the end design at all, but I am using it, I guess, as just a placeholder image to help me see and play around with ideas. So I'm actually trying to strip this picture of its detail. This is, I think, the third idea that I am developing for this logo design, where I'm going to have a thumbs up, and that little wedge between my index finger and my thumb will make up the shape of the V in Vermont. Yeah, that's good. I've pretty much just made it have minimal colors. I've posterized it. Although, I mean, as you guys see, it names what all of these effects do, but it really depends what photo you're working on. If I brought in a completely different photo, it would react differently to that filter. So I want it shrunk. I'm trying to tilt it a bit because I know I kind of want to make this V shape. Guys, like I said, this is a development stage. Now, I've now seen where this all ended up. But at the time, I didn't know that. At the time, I'm just like, I want to see this in front of me. Okay, guys, I've got my pencil tool out, and I'm just making that V shape. And I just want it to stand out. I mean, I stripped away a lot of the detail because I needed it not to be oversaturated with colors and other details when I'm going to need to put text here. So pencil tool is good. It's a good way to like correct little churns and little details and little bends when really essentially you're using something rather stiff. Of course, if you have a drawing tablet and a pen, it's easier. But if you're not using that, like I am not right now I'm just using my computer built-in mouse. The pencil tool helps because you have these anchors. Okay, guys, so now I've made the shape in between a lot bigger, a lot thicker, and I'm trying to put in text. Now, this is the, I guess, frustrating part in design. This is where I know this looks nothing like what I want it to, what it needs to be, or what the outcome will be like. But I kind of need to play the part. I need to play it out. I need to let it play out. Because even this stage right now, because this is not what the end logo looks like. Hopefully you guys will see after seeing the whole, like all of the videos in this series, that they have little connections. Like it either inspired me towards something or away from something. Or maybe I didn't use this design, but I used an element from it. I already see an element, and tell me below in one of the videos if you see it too. I see an element in this right now that inspired a part of the winning design. So I'm finding it awkward right now. It's a long name. Work right, Vermont. It's 4 syllables. It's not a short name. I want to get some imagery in there, but I don't want to overcrowd it. You really need to have a priority list and weigh up what's important. So it's important that the client likes the design. That is true. But it's also important that your product actually helps present what they're trying to present. And this is not always one in the same, guys. So right now, I've got their name, right? I've got one of the ideas that I'm working on. But, I mean, aesthetically, it's not there. It's not strong yet. This is not a strong design yet. And when you're doing designs like this, you're going to have to weigh up. Okay, I want the client to be happy, but I also need this to send out a message. And you've got to like really also worry about, does it look good? Does it do its job? And these things do not always reconcile with each other. So I have been in my own position, like, let's not even talk about clients. This isn't a client issue necessarily. I came from an art background, and even today I'll be in a position where I have this kooky kind of random idea that I love and it inspires me. But guess what? It doesn't really fit with what I'm trying to do. And I just have to make a priority list right there and then, because you can make a masterpiece and this really creative thing that you love, but it can still fail if it doesn't achieve what you set out to achieve. So right now, back to the video. I know I kind of weave in and out of tips, guys. I'm just speaking from what comes to my mind, when I'm thinking about this. But I'm trying to look for a text. So right now, the hand is too big in comparison to the words. And it's little quirks like this you're gonna run into. And you basically just gotta work it out. Right now, my goal is to see if I can bring this design to the next stage of development. So I've already doodled it. Well, no, for one, I've already spoken about it. Then I already doodled it. Now I'm trying to see it closer to how it would be if I was bringing it onto the computer to develop it. So I've just copied that because I'm planning to change the size. I'm planning to change things. And making a couple of copies can be helpful, guys. So I'm trying to see if I could shrink this to make it kind of work together. Personally, my feeling on this design at the moment is it's boring. It's not very unique at the moment. It's not very interesting. And even though it's simple, it's still kind of overcrowded. I used my photograph of my hand as basically a placeholder image. I already at this point was thinking I might just draw it in a more simplified digital drawing style. But so this is all going through my head at the time. But even with that in mind, it just seems like a bit of a gooseberry. I mean, sorry, this is probably a British term. Interesting fact, I spent most of my life growing up in England, despite my American accent. So you might hear some of those terms come out now and again. But I'm trying to make it all fit. And the word is long. The whole title is long. We can't do much about that. But it just looks like I've plopped it in there. It's not thought out. They don't look like they were made for each other. So I'm at a point in this design, guys, where I'm like, I am not feeling it. I've shrunk it to a better size where it, like, the V in Vermont actually kind of is fitting. As you see, I have 2 different fonts on here. So I still haven't decided my font. I'm trying to get something that looks comparable to this hand-drawn V. But and start making it more unified. So guys, I'm moving Workrite above Vermont. It all is a strange composition at this time. But I want to see if just making it more compacted will work in its favor. And I think it does. I mean, as you see, we haven't agreed on fonts yet. The picture would definitely change. But that's where we are at for now. Right now, I'm going to leave this how it is. I'm going to leave it how it is. I'm going to go work on one of the other design ideas. Thank you guys. So in the next video, we're going to look at developing the second idea. And we're basically just going to break down a bit on what I did on each of these stages. And remember, this is ultimately our end goal is one logo for the client. But these are real stages that you take in graphic design, and I just thought we should check it out. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time in the next video. And we're going to look at developing the second idea. All right, guys, until next time.